Hey, welcome to World Entertainment. And you might remember a while ago we did a video about a lawsuit being put against the brand new Superman. More so that the original writer's nephew was putting a lawsuit in to claim copyright. That he wanted the rights back to Superman and saying that Warner Brothers and James Gunn and stuff broke copyright rules by making this brand new Superman. And of course, it was relating to them being not able to release the movie in Canada, the UK, Ireland, and Australia. Well, we now have a massive update regarding that case, basically being that the case has been thrown out by the courts. So we'll have a look at this, because it's one thing to say, oh, the estate wants it back. It wasn't the estate wanting it back at all. It was the nephew, which just shows the greed knows no bounds with some people, because that's all that was. It's not like he wanted to protect the IP or anything like that. It's he wanted them to pay him off, and they said no, and the courts threw it out. So it says here, back in January, we learned that Warner Brothers and director James Gunn's Superman may have run into a potentially major roadblock on its journey to the big screen when Mark Perry, the nephew of the late Superman co-creator Joe Shuster, filed a lawsuit against Warner Brothers, Discovery, DC Studios, and DC Comics. Perry claimed that the studio lacks the rights to release the DC reboot in a handful of key territories, including Canada, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Australia. The matter has to do with foreign copyrights to the original Superman character and story. Though Siegel and Shuster assigned worldwide rights to DC's predecessor in 1938, the copyright laws of the countries with the British legal tradition contain provisions automatically terminating such assignments 25 years after an author's death, vesting in the Shuster estate to co-authors undivided copyright interest in such countries. That was a lot of gobbledygook right there when you read it out, doesn't it? But it continues saying, the studio noted that the courts have repeatedly rejected Perry's claims, finding that his mother, Jane Perry, signed away all rights to the Superman character after Shuster's death in 1992. However, the estate's lawyer, Mark Toberoff, argued that in the overseas territories, copyright assignments automatically terminate 25 years after the author's death. Had the suit been successful, it could have interfered with the movie's release this July, but it doesn't look like this is going to be an issue. Following Warner Brothers filing a motion to dismiss in March, Bloomberg is reporting that a federal judge has rejected the estate's bid to reclaim foreign copyrights, citing lack of jurisdiction over the case. Superman's overseas rollout was probably never in any real danger of being impacted, but it's nice to have confirmation that the release will go ahead without issue. Now, that's one thing I did say in the previous video talking about this when this suit was filed, was that he was never going to win it. Like, as much as they want to argue about the copyrights in foreign territories and stuff, at the end of the day, when it comes to the case of, well, the mother, his mother, and the wife of the co-creator signed away all the rights. So it was the character's rights in the foreign market would revert back to the estate. However, that would indicate that the rights then went back to Warner Brothers or whoever, because she signed away all the rights. It's not the case if it goes back to the author after his death. He's dead, the rights went to his wife, and she signed it away. So the argument of, oh no, it has to revert back to us, kind of goes out the window with it when you go, well, not really, because you would have had she not signed away the entire rights, but she did. And so did, I believe, Siegel's family. I believe he did the same thing, or his family did the same thing. They just signed it all away. Now, the the argument as well is that they signed it away for next to nothing, and they did kind of get screwed over with how little they actually got for the rights. But they didn't really look at the big investment in the character of Superman and stuff, so they really were kind of like, we don't care. They did end up fighting that years ago, before even Shooter's death, and they did get compensated. Still not a massive amount, but they did get compensated, which is then he passes away, and the wife then just was like, I'm done with this, I want nothing to do with it, and signed it all away. But now you see that the nephew is the one who's coming in and going, oh, I want the rights back to Superman. Nobody's asked, like in the press or anything, turned around and said, cool, why? And that's the key question, because his answer would be, because I want to protect the legacy of Superman. Well, it's already had its legacy. Its legacy, the real legacy, will live on no matter what. These modern takes on it have destroyed it. You know, like modern comics destroyed the character, all that stuff. But the actual legacy, the lifelong legacy of Superman, is strong and living well. So what exactly is he looking to protect? He's not looking to protect anything. He wants money. And what he was hoping was that he would push this case through, and the Warner Brothers and DC would just settle with them and go, look, how much do you want? Just drop the case and we'll give you whatever you want. And they didn't. They stuck to their guns. They brought it to the court and went, look, they sold the rights away. We own them at this stage, blah, blah, blah. And the judge basically went, not just do they agree with that, but that Perry's lawsuit has no jurisdiction in the US, basically. So there was nothing really they could do. So the lawsuit has been thrown out, and the movie, as it was probably always going to be, is releasing with no issues. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.